Hey guys, in this video I wanted to go over some of the Blizzcon stuff for Season 5, or I guess patch, what is it, 2.4. Um, First off, looks like it starts early January, or mid-January, sometime in January I would safely assume, because Season 4 they've announced that it stops and it ends at the end of December, towards the end of December. So, you got like 2 months or something like that, 2 months plus for new season, which I'll definitely be checking out. Thankfully, we get PTR in, what, a week, I believe they said, into the week, into next week. So, I'll be there, when that stuff is out. Go over some of the changes here. New bounties, don't care too much about that. Blah, 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 blah. This is good. UI buff. I think I have a picture here somewhere. UI. You get like a duration bar, and you get like what's being, I guess, autocast or something like that. It's good stuff. Like not being able to sync focus and restraint or convention buffs is really frustrating, unless you're using like some third-party stuff that you, I don't know, probably shouldn't be using. Which actually brings me to like bots. Nobody brought up bots, or like Paragon problem, or really the lag issues in D3. I think the two biggest problems with Season 4, in my opinion, were lag and then botting. The botting is just like out of control. You look on leaderboards, you check out some of the duration. These people who are almost anybody who's at the top, and they're all like, I don't even know, close to 1,500 hours, which is basically just them botting a lot of keys and botting mid, lower GRs for EXP. On top of that, the lag issue, which pretty much everybody has experienced unless you're playing one of very few builds that don't really run into that problem, but almost every build does. So hopefully, I do think they've fixed lag, or they've been working on it, so hopefully that's not an issue in Season 5. The amount of complaints will definitely affect it, and I actually think the amount of complaints that they've been getting for botting will probably be addressed as well, combined with the blue post talking about they're very aware, and I've known they've been very aware. They're just waiting for the right time to, do their whatever they're gonna do. We'll see. I'm slightly hopeful. I don't think they'll just leave it the way that it is the next season. They might leave it this season, but I don't think they'll let it go as out of control as it has been for this season. Let's check some other stuff out here. This is a really big change, probably one of my favorites. Monster health for smaller groups and solo players is being reduced. They had a chart. I didn't save the picture, but I was like, 4-player, basically same health. 3-player, it's like 10% less monster HPs, and then 2-player, it's like 20%, and then solo is like 40% less, which is really going to condense the gap between solo and 4 players and what GR they can push to. And I really like this, combined with experienced gear's effectiveness being reduced by a factor of 10, so the 41% red gem, for example, would be 4.1%. It's really good. Everybody running around with EXP gear, it's just gotten pretty out of hand. It's taken them a while to get to this point, but really nobody wants to run with a red gem and Leoric Signet, and everybody running with Leoric's helmet and all that kind of stuff, whether it be equipped or cubed. These two things are really good. It makes solo play a lot more desirable. On top of that, monster EXP increase across the board, blah blah blah, power creep, super high Paragon levels probably next season unless they make more changes. But I do think we'll see another season of people 2,500 Paragon, or 3K maybe even next season, 3K plus. I don't know about 3K plus with the 2250 Paragon exponential increase in EXP per level, but you'll have people really high Paragon level, again, regardless. I think the best solution for Paragon levels would be something like +1 primary stat per level after 800. I think that would be reasonable. It's still an incentive to grind levels, but it's not going to put you miles ahead of everybody else to where you're untouchable. Well, next to untouchable, They did some stuff with like EXP multiplier or something to come on the PC. And I think that like a screenshot towards the bottom here. I was looking at. I don't really see them talk too much about this stuff in the Blizzcon panel, but it's like you get some massacre killing streak, you get EXP for the monsters killed bonus, you break some stuff, you get a speed bonus, and you use like the traps in the environment to kill some monsters. The resource gain juice, which is probably all of it affects GR, I would assume. I don't see why it wouldn't. So I don't know how much that'll affect it, but it's kind of interesting, I suppose. Damage numbers shortened. This is good. You're not going to see like 5 trillion zeros on your screen that have a KMB. I'm assuming it even goes to a trillion, if people even can get that high. Probably not in this season, but you know. They've revamped a bunch of legendaries and sets. I'll go over a little bit of that. They've given DBs their own color, which is great. They'll be more noticeable. Like, I'm super lazy. I've always been super lazy on clicking. These things are just a hassle. They have this gold sync thing. You can empower rifts. You spend gold on a GR. You go in, and if you complete successfully, you have a chance, or you don't have a chance. You just straight up get an extra roll on a gem upgrade. So instead of 3 chances to upgrade a gem, you get 4. This gold sync scales based off the GRs. So right here it says GR 50 about 50 million, 75 about 540. I wouldn't be surprised if people are close in or even hit GR 100 this season. Well, this coming season, Season 5. And then on top of that you have this new cube recipe, which actually ties into this pretty well. I'm not a big fan of this, but I'll go over some of the things that are interesting about it. Permanently upgrade an ancient item by sacrificing a legendary gem. It adds 5 of the corresponding main stat. So basically, if you sacrifice like a level 50 gem, it gives you 250 main stat. It's basically just add an enchant onto an item. You can do it to every single item, I assume, head to toe. That's like what, 14 or 15 items if you're dual wielding or using like a quiver or something. Which, you know, let's say you sacrifice a level 50 gem on every single thing, every single slot, which, you know, you can definitely go way higher. But even just doing level 50 would be 3,750 if you're using 15 items, which is the equivalent of 750 Paragon levels, which is actually really retarded if you think about it. But I don't like the power creep, I don't like the snooze main stat, but it does make some things to consider. For example, an item like gloves, you have, most people want something like strength of it, crit chance, crit damage. Anybody who takes benefit from like attack speed, area damage, or CDR, you could have like the GG gloves for some of these people. Like for example, my Ren Barb right now, it might be something like CDR, area damage, crit chance, crit damage, because the value of the main stats decreases the more, you know, main stats you actually have. So everybody having way more main stats makes these other stats more and more appealing. So that's one good thing that comes from this. Not intended, I don't think, but it is better that it's in the game, I would say, than not being in the game. But it does seem kind of a boring thing. Anything main stat to me is very boring. They got a bunch of new sets here. This is like the new Wailing Host and Litany, I believe. This one's pretty interesting. So 2 rings, damage don't increase by 75%, damage taken reduced by 4% for every ancient item you have equipped. Like I said, 14 or 15 items. I'm not even sure if I'm right. 14 or 15 items, that would be like 1100%-ish weapon damage, or just damage increase, which is a fuck ton, and then 60% damage taken reduced. And then you could play off procs and gyms and all that kind of stuff because you have so many item slots open to you for legendaries. For example, like Endariel's Visage, Firewalkers, anything that, you know, creates a proc of weapon damage, assuming it scales with it, would actually do some significant damage on top of your abilities, whatever you would use. So you could use like Gavel, Hammer of the Ancients, and then the Bracers, or even Seismic Slam, something like that, off the top of my head, would work very well with that. You could do some stuff with it for sure. Might even be the best for some classes. Alright, there's these new set dungeons. They didn't seem like they served a purpose in the game. They're kind of like the season journey stuff, which I don't care too much about, but, you know, they said if you do like season journeys or whatever, something along those lines, you get extra stash space. I'm kind of going off tangent here, but we do get more stash space available to us. We can buy some, and then you can get some through, I guess, doing that season journey stuff. Anyway, the set dungeons, they're basically like these green portals, and then they're relative to some set. You use that set, and you have to complete the trial or whatever. I don't think you actually get anything other than like some cosmetic thing. But if you complete all of the set dungeons in the entire game, you get some wings, which are probably pretty appealing too, so people care about that. Myself, not so much. Like I said, 24 of those dungeons, blah blah blah. We talked about this, Season 4 in late December. Season 5 will be 3 months long. This is a good duration, I think. This makes me, you know, I've played Season 2, or Season, I did play Season 2 all the way through. But Season 4, I've played it about 2 months, and then I kind of burned out. I was, you know, 3 months seems reasonable. It'd be like, you know, 2.5 months of just like gearing up, EXPing up, blah blah blah, upgrading your gear, juicing it up, and then like 2 weeks or so of pushing at the end, something like that. Doesn't sound too bad. We'll see though. This set has 50 new legendaries, 10 revised sets. I kind of grabbed what I could find here of the sets. Like DH here, it's like Impale, 40,000% weapon damage, sounds insane. It's only one enemy hit though. Every Shadow Power Rune, and then all damage increased by 1,000% with a melee weapon. Pretty cool. Probably, I don't know, just 40,000% weapon damage sounds insane, single target. We'll see how that works. And you got some Thorn set. They also revamped a Con set. Anyway, let me go over the Thorn stuff here a little bit. Thorns, blah blah blah. They also changed the Topaz. Topaz gives a lot more Thorns damage in the weapon. Your standard damage, less damage taken. Then primary skills increased by 50%, attack speed, and then 200% of your Thorns damage to the first enemy hit. I don't know how this set will be. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I've never been a fan of Thorns. I had a Cons here. Let me look at it. Let's explore this somewhere. So Cons looks like they're changing this. The 6 piece is now for 50% weapon damage multiplier, which is really good. Gives you, I like these kind of bonuses the most because it gives a lot more flexibility in what you can do. You know, like maybe Condemn is back or ponies or something. You know, there will be something there that people will do. And then the old 6 piece got moved to the 4 piece, and the old 4 piece got moved to the 2 piece, from what I understand. So Cons is back. It'll be good. There's also the new raid cores. There's no screenshot. This is probably the most appealing set. This makes me want to play a Barbarian. I was hesitant about playing Barbarian Season 5, but this one looks really good. Refunds a charge if it hits one enemy, so infinite charges on single target even. I mean, this is like the easiest fix they could have ever done in Season 1 or 2 raid cores. It's just, that sounds like super fun. You know, your standard get every rune, then 400% more damage. It's gonna do a fuck ton of damage. Combine with Vile Wards, do even more. I don't even know if you use Vile Wards in this, but you know, we'll see. Every use of Furious Charge increases damage. The next Fury spinning attack by 300% stacks. And then every Fury spinning attack consumes up to 5 charges. So it looks like it stacks up to 5 charges. So that's 1500% multiplier. That just, I read that and I just instantly think a Furious Charge Rin build, and that sounds really, really enjoyable to me. This set looks really powerful as well, the Firebird set. Got the picture here. It's down here. Firebird set. You know, you got your old bonuses for the most part here, but then you got your damage is increased by 100% for each enemy that is burning elites that are burning. Increase your damage by 1500%. So I'm assuming that means if you have a screen of like 100 mobs, you're doing 10,000% more damage, and then not even including elites. Is that, am I understanding that right? That sounds insane. So that sounds broken basically compared to some of the other sets. You got your Might of the Earth, it's back. I'll try it. That's never been a playstyle I enjoy that much, but we'll see. Maybe it's better now. You got your Earthquake, Avalanche, Ground Stomp, Leap, All, Titan here. Obviously it does a lot more damage. Looks like they want you to play with the Ancient Spear as well. Got your mid set bonus for Defense Juice, Iron Impact. It's a huge armor increase. Survivability is good. You got this weird set, Compass Rose, Travelers. The thing about this is it's a finger neck combo, so no Hellfire. I don't know if this will be used for anybody, but it's like while moving you take less damage, and then while standing still you do a lot more damage. It's kind of... It could be really strong with something, but it seems a little lacking compared to some of the other combos like Focus and Restraint or Convention Unity and stuff like that. But, let's see. You got your Witch Doctor set here. I haven't looked at it too much. We'll see. It's like Soul Harvest. And then Locust Swarm Haunt. There's a bunch of new legendaries. I'm sure that tie in with all these new sets as well. Got your Revamped Sun Goku set. It's like Sweeping Wind with like some of your spenders here. And that's pretty much all the new sets, I think. There might be one more in there somewhere. Anything else I need to go over here? They added some new areas, some new zones. Hopefully we get new GRs for them. They added a new legendary gem based on Thorns. Don't really care too much about that, because I feel like only one class would use that, so no thanks. No reason to really analyze it. Technical PTR November 9th, which is in 3 days, and then 2.4 later next week, so I'll definitely be there. I'll start looking at some of this stuff. Raycore is probably my favorite playstyle, just like the Rift Guardian was so AIDS, so maybe Raycores will be back, and hopefully it's dominant. I'll definitely take a look at that. That sounds the most appealing of everything. Best thing here, though, on top of that, is the EXP gear, and then solo play might be back, so I feel like the vast majority of players who I'm associated with are solo players, so maybe this is the time for Diablo to actually be more enjoyable for us. I don't really like playing in groups all the time. It's a headache for me, and I know it's a headache for many people, so solo players, hopefully this is a patch in the season that brings us back. Anyway, that's about it. I'm probably gonna play some Overwatch or some random games for the next few days or whatever. Maybe I'll make a video on Overwatch or something. Thanks for watching. That's just my little blah 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 on this stuff. Probably try to make some more videos here and there. Just a lazy boy. Have a good evening, and I'll see you guys soon.